Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for September 20th, read by Sarah M. from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA. AA Thoughts for the Day. Balance. Most of us admit that we have loved but a few, that we have been indifferent to the many so long as none of them gave us trouble. And as for the remainder, well, we have really disliked or hated them. Although these attitudes are common enough, we AAs find we need something much better in order to keep our balance. We can't stand it if we hate deeply. The idea that we can be possessively loving of a few and can continue to fear or hate anybody has to be abandoned, if only a little at a time. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, pages 92 to 93. Thought to consider. Bigotry disfigures the heart. AA acronyms. AA, Adventurers Anonymous. Just for today. Publicity from The Three Legacies of Alcoholics Anonymous. In September 1939, the Liberty magazine piece hit the newsstands. It was a bit lurid, and we thought the title, Alcoholics and God, would scare off plenty of prospects. Maybe it did, but several hundred alcoholics and their families were not scared. Liberty magazine received 800 urgent pleas for help, which were promptly turned over to office manager Ruth and me, Bill W. She wrote fine personal letters to every one of them, enclosing a leaflet which described the AA book. The response was wonderful. Several hundred books sold at once at full retail price of $3.50. Even more importantly, we struck up a correspondence with alcoholics, their friends, and their families all over the country. Ruth could at last draw a few dollars a week for herself. And all those moving appeals for assistance had made us forget our own troubles. Looking after all those new people by mail and relating them in some cases to each other and in others to the groups in Akron, New York, and Cleveland became our chief occupation until early 1940. Shortly after the Liberty article came out, Cleveland's Plain Dealer ran its great series of pieces, as already described. This brought in new book orders and new problems by scores. Alcoholics Anonymous was on the march, out of its infancy into adolescence. Alcoholics Anonymous Comes of Age, page 178. Daily Reflections. HP as Guide. See to it that your relationship with him is right, and great events will come to pass for you and countless others. This is the great fact for us. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 164. Having a right relationship with God seemed to be an impossible order. My chaotic past left me filled with guilt and remorse as I wondered how this God business could work. AA told me that I must turn my will and my life over to the care of God as I understood him. With nowhere else to turn, I went down on my knees and cried, God, I can't do this. Please help me. It was when I admitted my powerlessness that a glimmer of light began to touch my soul, and then a willingness emerged to let God control my life. With him as my guide, great events came to happen, and I found the beginning of sobriety. As Bill sees it, fear and faith. The achievement of freedom from fear is a lifetime undertaking, one that can never be wholly completed. When under heavy attack, acute illness, or in other conditions of serious insecurity, we shall all react to this emotion, well or badly, as the case may be. Only the self-deceived will claim perfect freedom from fear. Grapevine, January 1962. We finally saw that faith in some kind of God was part of our makeup. Sometimes we had to search persistently, but he was there. He was as much a fact as we were. we found the great reality deep down within us. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 55. Big Book quote, yes, there is a substitute, and it is vastly more than that. It is a fellowship in Alcoholics Anonymous. There you will find release from care, boredom, and worry. Your imagination will be fired. Life will mean something at last. The most satisfactory years of your existence lie ahead. Alcoholics Anonymous 4th edition, A Vision for You, page 152. 24 hours a day. AA thought for the day. Step 4 is made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Step 5 is admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Step 6 is we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Step 7 is humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. Step 10 is continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. In taking a personal inventory, we have to be absolutely honest with ourselves and with other people. Have I taken an honest inventory of myself? Meditation for the day. God is good. You can often tell whether or not a thing is of God. If it is of God, it must be good. Honesty, purity, unselfishness, and love are all good. Unselfish helpfulness is good. And these things all lead to the abundant life. Leave in God's hand the present and the future, knowing only that He is good. The hand that veils the future is the hand of God. He can bring order out of chaos, good out of evil, and peace out of turmoil. We can believe that everything really good comes from God and that He shares His goodness with us. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may reach out for the good. I pray that I may try to choose the best in life. Hazelden Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Center City, Minnesota, 55012. I'm Sarah, and I'm an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952, 1957, 1967, 1973, 1975, 1976, 1980, 1981, 1984, 1985, 1988, 1990, or 2001.